Alright everyone, I think we can all agree that the world needs to adopt some type of renewable energy as we look to find a new type of energy, because our current energy is non-renewable, it's running out, and it's polluting the environment at the same time. And as a result of this energy crisis that we've had, other methods have been developed. Well, in my opinion, none is better than solar energy. So, in my opinion, solar energy is the most renewable and cleanest form of alternative energy out there. And I believe it's the way the world should be moving, and the reasons are, solar energy requires sunlight, which is readily available. It's really abundant, in other words. And because it probably has less impact on the environment than the other forms of alternative energy. So throughout the speech I'll be giving you the reasons why I think that solar energy is better than other forms of alternative energy. I think we can all agree that alternative energy is the way to go. Renewable energy is the way to go, but solar energy is the best form of renewable energy. So in the book, The Race to Reinvent Energy and Stop Global Warming by David Croft, he points out a statistic that in 1 hour the sun provides enough energy to power human civilization. In 1 hour of the sun shining light on the earth, that's enough energy to power human civilization for 1 year. And if you think about it, that's quite a lot. In just 1 hour, you've already powered the whole earth for a year. Obviously, you can't put a solar panel over the whole earth, but it just shows that even with little space, you can, it'll be good enough. Another quote by David Croft in the book said, at just 10% efficiency, that is, if only 10% of solar energy were converted to electricity, that'd be enough energy to power the entire United States. So this just goes to show the magnitude of what solar energy can do. It's there. The sun is always coming down. You just have to take it and use it. Second point. Solar energy can be produced anywhere. People who may think that it has to be a bright sunny day like today to get the best out of it. But the reality is, it just needs the daylight. So even if it's a cloudy day, the sun is still out there, it's still daylight, it's still considered daytime, and energy can be made into electricity. For example, in solarpanels.com is a statistic. Germany, which is a small and cold country, not much sunshine year-round, is the largest solar energy producer. They produce 40% of the world's supply of solar energy. So it just shows that if Germany can do it, and they don't have, it's not bright like this, it's Germany every day, anyone can do it. And the next, after Germany producing solar energy, is Japan. And then a few other European countries are in the top 10 as well. It just shows to show that, you don't need, it just needs daylight. So that basically highlights that the sun is in abundance, and that's why it's easier to obtain. There are other forms of alternative energy out there, but none as efficient as, but all have some kind of impact to the environment. Wind energy, while it is the cleanest form of alternative energy out there, it still has its cons. Wind energy is a seasonal and regional factor, so it has to be a windy day, so it can only work at its peak during certain seasons. In addition to that, it has to be a windy region, so certain regions in the world don't have as much wind as other regions. So therefore, there's already a factor involved in there. It doesn't compare to sunlight, where sunlight is everywhere. To generate wind energy, you need to clear out big portions of land, so that has an environmental impact. Whereas with solar panels, while there is also solar panels that do clear out vast portions of land, solar panels are also attached to buildings and can be converted to electricity on existing structures. So you're using land for two purposes. Next in line is a popular one. It's biofuels, but biofuels will probably cause the same problems that we have right now. Biofuels require biomass, which are all these different crops that will be burned into electricity. And this, according to Time magazine, production of biofuels leads to deforestation. And deforestation is a leading cause to carbon emissions. In addition, the use of biofuels will lead to another controversy, a food versus fuel controversy. Will farmers be using their land to grow biomass to provide fuel, or will they use it for food? It leads to a debate, and it could just leave millions of people starving, which we don't want. And then obviously there's hydropower, which uses water, but everyone knows that hydro energy requires dams, and dams, it has bad effects on the environment. You wipe out many habitats, and you displace many people that were living previously over there. So all in all, I think that the best form of renewable energy is solar energy. I mean, the sun is out there. No one has to fight for it. It's just coming there. It's there for the taking. The sun is the life of the universe, and I hope in the future that it will be the life of the main energy source for the rest of the earth as well. I think all that is needed now is people to start investing in solar energy, because the technology is already proven, but people need to make the switch. Obviously, it takes money to make the switch, and I hope that will come about. Thank you.
All right, Jason, what did you think?
I thought you had a good topic with really good statistics that tied everything in. It was very informative. All the points kind of addressed the main topic. He addressed a lot of the possible rebuttals to his argument, which was a strong point. And he did a good job stating a lot of his sources were. Things he could have improved on a little bit was you could definitely tell he was a little bit nervous. He had like a little kind of a nervous step going on. He had an issue where he would like play with the paper sometimes, and it would be a little bit distracting. He excused himself a few times, which I understand he's not a fan of people doing. I think you just kind of go along with it. And he said, in my second point, and then it's like third point, and you should have like transitional language, which brings me to my next point, as opposed to kind of like numerically planning it out like that.
All right.
And that's it.
Yeah, I'm going to start with a couple of the presentation issues, because at this point you really need to be a little bit more forceful in control. You should not be reading your introduction. You need to be talking to people. And when you get the paper out and you start looking down at it and reading it and talking to us, I think the vast majority of people in the audience are going to go, don't you know what you're talking about? Why aren't you talking to us? You need to kind of look up at us at this point. It's forgivable when you're not familiar. It's the first time out. But here we are at the end of the term. You know that's the start of the speech is where you need to set up your success and create a good ethos in order to convince the audience. And so you need to be a lot stronger at that at the beginning. I thought you started off to have a preview of what the contents were, but I don't think you got past setting up what that first point was. And then the rest of the speech, I'm just having to catch up as you go along. Now, you do a good job indicating where you are at each point, but I understand what Jason's talking about. Sometimes it does sound a little mechanical in nature, and then the next, and number 3 and number 4 and so on and so forth. So it could be a little bit smoother. I thought the argument about the availability of solar energy is not as well developed as it could be. You've got some good information